Ephesians 2:10, we are God's workmanship created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Someone's not happy in their work environment. 1 Corinthians 1:17, the Phillips. Each one should live his life with the gifts God, that the Lord has given him. Could it be that you need to consider gaining new skills? Could it be? Could it be that you need to make inquiries, or to consider making inquiry about moving to a new type of employment? Could it be? I was at a funeral yesterday morning up at Fremantle, and when you go to a funeral directors, employees, they hand out little cards to you before you follow the hearse down to the chapel. So there's all these guys handing out cards to people, and someone said to me, how come the staff for these funeral directors, they're always old? And I said, well, it's because they, a lot of them did something else for the first half of their life. Like they're a pastor, an insurance salesman, real estate salesman, whatever, and they've decided for the second half of their life they're going to be in the funeral director business. I mean, I'd say, in fact, I'm thinking about doing that for my second half. I said. With that, someone said, that was in the vicinity, how long are you going to stay around on planet Earth? You know, because of the second half. I got no intention of going anywhere, I've got to tell you that. But I started late. So that's why my second half. And that's it. But everyone ought to think about that, the second half. What you've done in the first bit of your life, what are you going to, and it ought not be the grey nomad thing. That's a consumer mentality. You're not giving anything back. What you going to do with the rest of your life? You know, that's the thing. Are you going to change gears? By the way, right now there's a little segue here. And when I said funeral, that was a cue for someone to get someone else from over in the kids' ministry centre to come back here, because I'm going to interview them. And now I'm going to interview 4 people right now. And so that would be Mary, if you would come up please, and Ruth, and Pastor Les, and Mark Brown, who's just arrived from Children's Ministry Centre right on cue. Because that's when you say a word like funeral, that'll do every time. To bring him in. Come on up guys, give me a big round of applause, please. Now, folks, if I get this right, Ruth, you're a school teacher? Yes. Right. Come back to you, Mary. Mark, you own your own business, right?
That's right.
And what's it to do with?
Industrial batteries.
Batteries, all right. So you need the batteries, here's the man. Pastor Les, you've got 2 vocations going at the moment. Tell us what they are.
I'm a physio.
Physio and pastor, which is really good for the pastoral staff. And I was talking to Mary on Wednesday night, Connect Group, because our Connect Group met with Ruth Chris's Connect Group, and we talked about this. And Mary wanted me to give a technical term for the work she does, and I've come up with it. It's called cleanology. so that was a good, wasn't it? So Mary, I just want you to tell us how many homes you clean during the week, apart from your own?
Apart from my own, 3.
3. Now, the point we want to come up with this technical word was that Mary wants you to know that her vocation is not drudgery. Is that right, Mary?
Absolutely.
You enjoy doing what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, love it. Love who I work for and through this church.
Is anyone that you do work for close right now? Yeah.
And I've always been passionate about cleaning since I was 12.
Okay. So it's someone that's contented and happy in their place of employment. And that quote I gave about from Martin Luther King Jr. You know, if you're a street sweeper, sweep the streets so well that even the hosts of heaven would say, here lived a street sweeper who did well. Here lives Mary who does well and enjoys. Is that right? Give Mary a great big round of applause. Now, Ruth, if you hold on that minute, I'll get back to you in a minute. Ruth, don't go away, Mary. Stay here. Stay. No, yeah, we may not ask any more questions. questions, but Ruth would love to have you. Yeah. Now, Ruth, tell us about when you upskilled and to get the vocation you now have.
I was doing family daycare, and two things happened. My house burnt down, and then my husband passed away a few months later. And I decided it was time for me to do something completely different, because I didn't want to be in a house all day long with small children and no big people to talk to. So I went to uni for 5 years to get my degree fitting.
Fantastic. We'll come back to you, Ruth. Don't go away. Give you a moment. Mark, hold on that. Mark, before you went into this business you now have, what were you doing?
I was electrical fitter by trade, but I wanted to get out of the trade and do something professional. So I started as a sales rep in the battery industry.
Right, now a number of years ago, and I can't recall how long ago you wound up at that position. You want to tell us about that?
I'd worked for a couple of national battery manufacturers, and one day I got to work and there was a letter on my desk saying don't come Monday. And
That messed your day up, right?
it would. That was devastating. And this is the way in the corporate world sometimes, that with a ruthless CEO and looking for excuses, and my name was on the line, and so I was fired.
So what did you do after that?
We'd just done a big house extension, and I thought, wow, this is a good opportunity just to get in and do the lawn. So I stayed positive, and the Lord really blessed me through all this. It was about 12 years ago, and a company rang me up and invited me to go and work for them, another big battery company in Sydney. And 3 years later, I went out with their WA agency here in Western Australia. So all their product that's sold into Western Australia gets sold through me. We've been very successful, and over the last few years, our turnover's been $1.5 to $2 million.
So you know, right then when you got the "Don't Come Monday" letter, that was sad, right? Now, as you look back, what do you reckon? Don't use words like "sucked in" or anything like that.
Look, at the time, it was just, it was terrible. It's just like your guts have been ripped out, you know. But I think I always remember the scriptures, and the Lord always says that if I'm for you, who can be against you? You know?
Yeah. And
I'm Mark Brown, and I'm better than this. And you've just got to stay positive and in the Lord. And if you step out, so will He.
That's good. Okay, we'll just pass on to Pastor Les here. Les, now tell us about your background. You've been on staff here, what, a couple of months?
Yeah, just started the beginning of last month.
Yes, okay. So what were you doing prior to that, and tell us about your studies and all that prior to the studies you're now doing?
Yeah, okay. I've been a physio for about the last 4 years, so I did a degree for that. Prior to that, I spent probably about 7 years actually trying to get into physio, so I was doing another degree before that, general science degree and anatomy and a few other things. So a bit of a long road to get into physio, and then a couple of years into physio, I felt God saying to me, "You're going to be doing something else." I thought, okay, that's interesting. I've been spending a lot of time trying to get here, so now I'm studying a Bachelor of Ministry and heading in a different direction.
Fantastic. Well, guys, you know, I could chat to you guys all day. We could get lounge up here, just sit here and have a chat. But we're going to move on to this message. I just hope that what these guys have said to you, for some of you, you are feeling a little at a loose end where you are, or it's not ringing your bells, the work you're doing. And you can change gears, like Ruth did. You can have a great attitude like Mary and say, I'm doing what I love doing, and it's bringing me great satisfaction. You can be like Mark, and someone else changes gears for you, but you don't let that slow you down. In fact, you let that speed you up and you get success. You can be like this bloke, finally break through after all the years of study and get into the thing you thought you wanted, and then suddenly there's a God factor. I want you to do something totally different. And then you move on and do that. I hope that's encouraged all you guys. Give these folks a big round of applause. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. God's got plans for you. Colossians 3:23-24. And the good news, whatever you do, work out with all your heart, as though you were working for the Lord and not for man. Remember, the Lord will reward you, for Christ is the real master you are serving. And here's what I want to say as I wrap this message up this morning. Of course, if you don't have a personal relationship with God through faith in Jesus Christ, the idea of serving God through 70% of your waking day at work, that's not going to really ring your bells at all anyway. So I just want to get on and make some dollars, put some bread on the table, and do okay. But I want to say to you this. Once you hook up with God by surrendering your life to Christ, everything will change. Everything will change. You will want to give work your best shot because it honours God. There is the God. You'll want to give work your best shot with enthusiasm because of the God factor. I want to say, you'll want to continue to upskill. I did a master's degree that I completed at the beginning of last year, and someone said to me then, what's an old fellow like you doing that? I'm never going to stop upskilling. I want to bring honour and glory to God. There's the God factor. You'll want to make sure that you are working in the best place to express who it is that God has made you to be. This is the God factor. God is concerned about you every day of the week. And so the big issue for you relates right now to what kind of relationship with God do you have? Do you have a relationship with God? Why wouldn't you want to be on intimate relational terms with the God who created you, who knows what's best for you, who knows how you tick, who knows how you function, who has shaped you for a purpose and has shaped that purpose for you? Why wouldn't you want to be on best intimate terms with Him? Why wouldn't you? And so this morning, God is using me to offer to you the opportunity to hook up with God by giving your life over to Jesus Christ, by inviting Him into your life, into the driver's seat of your life, if you will, so that now you'll hear from God, just like Pastor Les did. That you'll be encouraged by God, just like Mark Brown was. That you'll know that you're in the right place, just like Mary is. That you'll change gears and be happy about it, just like Ruth, if you're hearing the voice of God. Would you surrender your life to Christ this morning? Would you hand it over to Him? Would you invite Him into your heart, into your life, in a brand new and powerful way this morning? Because see, God's interested in every day of the week for you, not just Sundays. He's interested in all of your days.